Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to share with you 6 very easy tips to help you stop overeating at mealtime. So I know that this can be a really common problem for a lot of women. Is like when they sit down to their evening meal, they just overeat and they feel like they can't stop or they've no control over it. They're so hungry and they generally overconsume. You know, they eat a lot more than what they actually need. So I want to share with you some tips today to help you get this a little bit more under control. And there's different things that you can actually do throughout the day which will really help you feel fuller and more satisfied from food, so that you feel like you don't have to overconsume all the time and that you can actually eat the amount of food that your body needs, which is really, really important. Of course, not only for weight loss, but also maintaining your weight. So my first tip is it's really, really important for you to eat regular meals throughout the day. So I always recommend, your 3 meals per day plus a couple of snacks in between, which is so important. And you will find that if you're having very long gaps in between meals, then you're more than likely going to overeat when you do actually sit down to have something. So take this as an example. You have your lunch and work, and maybe you're running around very busy, you don't have a chance to eat anything in between your lunch and your dinner. You then get home in the evening and you're so hungry. First of all, you're going to find it very difficult to prepare a healthy meal because maybe you're going to want something very quick, so you're just going to throw anything together. And then generally you're going to be so hungry that you will overconsume, and you will definitely eat more than what you actually need. So it's very important. Get your regular meals in there, and of course introduce some snacks throughout the day which will help you keep things regular, and it's going to be really beneficial to your energy levels as well. So that's my first tip. My second tip is to do with eating slow. This is really important because it can take up to 20 minutes for your stomach to send a signal to your brain to actually let you know that you've had enough. So if you are eating very fast, you're not going to actually feel this, and you're going to find it much easier to actually overconsume. So eat slow and actually pay attention. This will really help you tune in and be able to stop when you know you've had enough, because you will actually get the signal, and that's very important. So my third tip is to serve food in the kitchen. What I see a lot of people doing is they will serve food, but then they will bring maybe what is left over and they will put it on the table, maybe in the middle of the table. And generally, when there's more food on the table, you are more than likely going to go for that little bit more if it's sitting there in front of you, because it's there, and that's just what we do, So I find the best thing to do is actually to serve your meals in the kitchen, serve everything there, and then bring your food to the table on a plate, obviously, and don't bring the leftovers to the table. Leave them for the next day for lunch, or you can put some of it in the freezer or something like that. It's not like it actually has to go to waste. You can always put it in the fridge for the next day, which is perfectly fine. If the food is in front of you, you're more than likely going to go for another portion. Even if you're not hungry, that's the whole point, because it's actually just sitting there in front of you. Okay, so my fourth tip is knowing that it's okay to stop. We come from this sort of society where we've always been told to actually clear our plate, eat it all, finish it all, and you're doing good. But that's not really how we should actually be doing it. You should be tuning into yourself and stopping when you know you've had enough, because the person that's maybe serving your food doesn't know how much you actually need. So it's important for you to tune into that yourself and know that be okay with stopping, even if there is some food left over in your plate, and get this idea into your head that, your next meal is actually only around the corner, so you're going to be eating again very, very soon, so you don't need to overeat. Food is available to us in abundance, so there's no need to actually overconsume it. It is available. So have that thought in mind and be okay with stopping, and I think with this one you sort of do need to practice with it. And my fifth tip is checking in multiple times throughout your meal. So this is also regarding the eating slow and taking your time and becoming aware. So while you're eating, if you check in a couple of times throughout the meal to see how you're actually feeling, then you can identify if you've had enough or if you feel like you need a little bit more. So get used to this checking in and seeing actually how you feel while you're eating the meal. And this is important to have, not many distractions, why I don't really recommend, sitting and eating your dinner while watching TV, because it will also be very, very easy to overconsume because you're not exactly paying attention to eating, okay? And my last tip, which is number 6, is to eat a diet that is really full of variety and is very, very nutritious, because when you're eating a diet that is nutrition and has everything that you need in it, you're going to feel more satisfied actually from what you're eating. You're going to feel fuller for longer from the food that you're eating. So you're not going to feel like you actually have to overconsume. When you're eating a diet that has a lot of sugar or maybe a lot of processed foods, you're not going to feel very satisfied, and maybe you might be full for 1 hour, but you will then, after 1 hour, you'll want more food again because it's not satisfying, it's not nutritious. So when you eat a diet that's really rich in nutrients, you're going to find that you're actually satisfied and you don't feel the need to actually overeat or eat more. So that's really important as well. So those are my 6 tips that I wanted to share with you today, which can actually help you to not overconsume at meal times. And it's really, really important to get into a routine with these sort of things if you're wanting to lose weight or even just become more mindful around your eating habits. Okay, so any questions, let me know, pop them under the video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon in another video.